Alright y'all, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to go ahead and make a Strand Hunter build with the recently buffed two-tailed fox, because it did get a catalyst this season, allowing it to shoot 3 rockets. They all track, by the way, and now it applies Jolt with the 3rd rocket, which is really dope. So most of the time, the weapon loadout that I'm using looks something like this, where I have 2 special weapons to help get increased heavy drops. The kinetic slot doesn't matter all that much as long as your energy slot is occupied by a void weapon. If you can't run double special, then you can go ahead and run something like this. Either way, in both situations, we are going to be using repulsor brace on the energy slot to help give us a little bit of survivability that stacks with woven mail. Now for your armor, it's nothing too crazy. Just make sure to run 3 void surges, as that will give you a 22% damage to your two-tailed fox, and that damage buff does stack while standing in a well of radiance. I also do have another loadout slot with a 6 coyote exotic on, just for when we're not in a damage phase or about to enter one, as it is a much better passive game exotic, where the Star Eaters, that's when we commit to the deeps. Okay, if you want to keep it simple and easy, then just go ahead and stick with the Star Eaters on. And then for the actual subclass portion of the build, it's nothing too crazy. You of course want to run the only 2 aspects you can choose from. Grapple is really important for obvious reasons to skip the dang reload, and then our aspects, we do have things like Thread of Warding, we have Thread of Ascent, obviously, Thread of Generation, and then Thread of Continuity. Thread of Generation is really good at just making sure you always have your grapple hook, and then Thread of Warding is amazing because it gives us woven mail when we pick up an Orb of Power, which stacks with the repulsor brace overshield, allowing us to be pretty tanky. If you look at our helmet and our gauntlets, you'll see that we have hands-on and we have ashes to assets on the helmet, along with a void siphon mod to help make some orbs, and then we have heavy-handed and firepower on our gauntlets, because your grapple melee does count as both a melee and a grenade kill, which will spawn 2 orbs when you get a kill with your grapple melee, which is really dope, especially because we have 2 of them. So you should be relatively okay on your own orbs if you are playing solo. Keep in mind the two-tailed fox will be jolting enemies and causing its own ignitions, as its solar rocket does scorch, and the second one will cause it to ignite, which is really dope. And of course, after you shoot your rocket, instantly grapple to your little grapple point that you have right near you, so you can go ahead and reload your rocket and get right back to shooting, rinse, repeat, and dump all of your rockets. And then afterwards, you can go ahead and pop your super and continue the carnage, and or flip the order. It really doesn't matter too much, and more so it matters on the actual situation or how long the actual DPS phase is going to last. If it's long enough, you can definitely get out all of your rockets and your super, and in some cases it might be better just to go ahead and shoot maybe 4 rockets and then cast your super and do damage with that. Either way, just make sure you're using your two-tailed fox and your super to do your damage, because that is where you're going to be absolutely juicing out these enemies, and it's honestly a pretty fun playstyle. I'm not saying this is the best Hunter Strand build out there, because it's definitely not. We're not taking advantage of any of the crazy super suspend action all that much outside of our class ability with the ensnarling slam aspect. And as far as the artifact mods go, honestly, as long as you got bricks from beyond, volatile flow, and anything to make your void mods cheaper, along with your grenade mods as well, that would help, you should be good. The seasonal artifact doesn't affect this build too much. It's really just the rocket and the Hunter Strand subclass. Let me know if you've been playing around with the two-tailed fox since it's got its catalyst. I know I have, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Dim link in the top of the description. See you on the next one.